from a small town with a very large imagination. Lay alone in his room with his radio on, looking for another station. And when the static from the mouthpiece gave way to the sound below, James Dean went out to Hollywood and put his picture in a picture show. James Dean went out to Hollywood and put his picture in a picture show. And it's, oh, Daddy, get off of your knees. Mama, why'd you have to go? Your darling Jim is out on a limb. I put my picture in a picture show. Oh, oh, my picture in a picture show. Hamburgers, cheeseburgers, Wilbur and Orville Wright, John Garfield in the afternoon, Montgomery Clift at night. Oh, when the static hit the mouthpiece, it gave way to the sound below. James Dean went out to Hollywood and put his picture in a picture show. And it's, oh, Daddy, get off of your knees. Mama, why'd you have to go? Your darling Jim is out on a limb. Put my picture in a picture show. Whoa, whoa, my picture in a picture show. In a wigwam, sitting on a reservation, with a big black hole in the belly of his soul, waiting on an explanation. While the white man sits on his fat can and takes pictures of the Navajo. Every time he clicks his Kodak picks, he steals a little bit of soul. Every time he clicks his Kodak picks, he steals a little bit of soul. And it's, oh, Daddy, get off of your knees. Mama, why'd you have to go? Your darling Jim is out on a limb. I put my picture in a picture show. Whoa, whoa, my picture in a picture show. My picture in a picture show. Let's go. Imagination. I got kicked off of Noah's Ark. I turned my cheek to one kind remark. There was two of everything, but one of me. And when the rains came tumbling down, I held my breath and I stood my ground. And I watched that ship go sailing out to sea. Take it back, oh no, you can't say that. All of my friends are not dead, OMG, yeah, through rock and stone. The black wind still moans, sweet revenge without fail. I caught an owl seat on a plane, drove an English teacher half insane, making up jokes about bicycle spokes and red balloons. So I called up my local DJ, and he didn't have a lot to say, but the radio has learned all of my favorite tunes. Take it back, oh no, you can't say that. All of my friends are not dead, OMG, yeah, rock and stone. The black wind still moans, sweet revenge without fail. The white meter's on the run, and the dark meter's far too done. And the milkman left me a note yesterday. Get out of this town by noon. You're coming on way too soon. And besides that, we never liked you anyway. Take it back, take it back. Oh no, you can't say that. All of my friends are not dead or in jail. Rock held the stone, the black wind still moans. Sweet.
From New York, where my Uber was wrapped in Mylar, it's IsoLateNight with Scott Rogowsky. Tonight, from Saturday Night Live, Cecily Strong, and actor and musician John Gallagher Jr. Plus, a welfare check on Sidekick Marty and Rolodex Roulette. And now, a man who just rewatched the 2016 World Series just to feel something again, Scott Rogowsky!
Yeah! Boom! Make sure that we straight. Can I use this as a mirror? All right, not everything's backwards. The whole world is upside down, but we're here. We're staying alive, live at 9 Eastern Time with all of you. Hello and welcome to ISO Late Night with Scott Rogowsky on this April 15th, 2020. The day formerly known as Tax Day. Yes, I'm sorry, kids. There won't be any Tax Day parades this year. No H&R Block parties for now. At least no Tax Day parades this April, because good news, they're not canceling Tax Day. No, of course, they would never do that. No, Tax Day has simply been pushed 3 months. July 15th. Won't it be perfect? You can reuse old decorations from your July 4th celebrations. Save some of those firecrackers for Tax Day, everybody. I got my celebratory suit on tonight. I'm mixing up holidays. A little Passover. It is the last night of Passover, hence the matzah. And St. Patrick's Day came and went without much of a whimper. No celebration for St. Patrick's Day, just like no Tax Day parties. So I thought, why not break it out for tonight? Also, I can never wear this on HQ because it's green. And of course, we had a green screen on the HQ. So this jacket never got a lot of love at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, but it is tonight, live. Ooh, it feels good to be live, doesn't it? It feels good to be at IsoLateNight.com. Maybe you're watching from IsoLateNight.com, the new website. If you go there, you can donate to City Meals on Wheels directement, with a click of the button. If you're watching on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, there should be a donate button in the description and the link there. If you're watching on X Hamster, put that away. We don't want to see that. My friends at Hovercast are allowing for all this interactivity, by the way. That's where this is coming from, Hovercast. They're doing amazing work. This software, look at that. There's tweet crawl right there. You can tweet me, use the hashtag IsoLateNight. It might be featured on the show. Yeah, I'm also asking for your memes, of course. I want your dankest quarantine memes because I'm here all alone, quarantine alone. I got nothing. So I need to keep company with funny images from the internet. So tweet me at Scott Rogowsky, hashtag IsoLateNight, and you could be shouted out as the quarantine meme queen of the night. Tonight, that honor goes to Gammy T-Bone for sending in this baby Yoda specifically. Yes, day 4 of quarantine, and I've struck up a conversation with a spider. Seems nice. And then look, he's a web designer. So that there's 2 jokes there. It's because you're lonely, so you're talking to a spider. So that's already funny. But then, double punch. He's a web designer. Congratulations, Gammy T-Bone, for sending that meme. I don't know if you designed that meme, but you sent it, and that's all you got to do. I also want to share a piece of fan mail. This came in via Twitter a couple days ago. I posted our now legendary bit that we did, top 19 reasons why COVID-19 has yet to infect Donald Trump. And Joan Criscione wrote in to share her thoughts. Joan wrote in to say, shame on you, space, 3 exclamation points. I thought you were smarter than that. Drag you into hate our president, period, space, 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 double exclamation points. Thank you, Joan. Full disclosure, Joan happens to be my racist great aunt living in Florida. But I'm glad she's watching the show, or at least follow me on Twitter. Speaking of family, time to check in with America's dad to see if he is staying alive on this Wednesday night. I bring to you, from the power of video conferencing, all the way from Westchester County, New York. Yes, the land of my fathers and forefathers. Actually, he grew up in Harrison, New York, as did I, where he is currently stationed, quarantined with my mom, my sister, my brother-in-law, their kid, which means my nephew. It's Sidekick Marty, but I was stalling for time. I was waiting for him to join. And, oh, what? Is he, are we hearing him tonight?
Did I join?
So this is perfect because we have yet to have a successful Skype call with my father. And I think that's just perfect for IsoLateNight. That's what I wanted when I decided to, hey, Dad, I'm going to check in with you every night on the show. Does that sound good? Because he used to be my sidekick on my Running Late show, which I did for many years. So I thought, I can't have a sidekick with me in person. I'll have a virtual sidekick. I'll bring Dad in. And of course, my 71-year-old father simply cannot for the life of him figure out his computer. This will be a running bit. We're getting, see, last night he was frozen. We saw the frozen feed. It didn't have any audio. Tonight we're getting audio, not seeing any camera. I don't know if we can hold on. Dad, I don't think we have time to hold on. We have a big show tonight. I got Cecily Strong on the show tonight. I got John Gallagher Jr. on the show tonight. There's just no time for Sidekick Marty tonight. We'll have to check in tomorrow with him.
All right, I'll check with you tomorrow night.
God bless you. As long as that is, in fact, your voice being recorded live now. It's not pre-tape. So we know that you are alive. That's essentially the only reason why the bit exists. I want to check in on my elderly father. He is at risk during this crisis, this pandemic. So he is alive. Folks, before I bring on my first guest of the night, I have to tell you, I'm just so excited by what's been going on here. The show and my Quiz Daddy's Closet Instagram page. I don't know if you're paying attention to this, but I've been working an Instagram page since June of last year, selling off my insane vintage t-shirt collection. And we're giving the proceeds to City Meals on Wheels, just like tonight you can donate to City Meals on Wheels. So a couple things sold today. I just want to show off what sold today. 1985 Lakers NBA champs. Yep, sold. Sorry. Not so vintage 2006 Say Anything tour shirt. Seal the Deal tour. 2006 is practically vintage, I think. So those are sold, gone, but you can still pick up. Look at these Wolf shirts. Are Wolf shirts still popular? How about that one? Waterton Lakes, Canada. Beautiful 1980s. This is 1991. More Wolves. I put a whole Wolf collection up there. The Wolves and the Full Moon. Double-sided Habitat tee on that guy. That's at Quiz Daddy's Closet on Instagram. Basketball fan? You like the Lakers? How about Team USA? How about that? USA Basketball, 92. So that is also on the gram. So much Quiz Daddy's Closet. Check that out. Support City Meals on Wheels and get a t-shirt. If you don't want to just flat out donate, you want to get something for your money, I understand. You can go to Quiz Daddy's Closet. Let's go to our first guest of the evening right now. She is an actress and a comedian who has been a cast member on Saturday Night Live since 2012. It is Cecily Strong.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. That's my
friend.
Kevin. He's holding the phone, so that's
Cameraman Kev. I wish I had a cameraman.
Well, that's what happens when you have a cameraman.
He gets in the frame.
He's the frame. Yeah.
I'm adjusting my frame here. I have a laptop on a cardboard box. That's my camera.
Okay, brag.
Yeah. Humble brag. Cess, how are you? First of all,
Hi.
how are you?
Wow, great.
And
Thank you for asking.
Can you please describe in graphic detail your latest Andrew Cuomo sexual fantasy?
I don't know that I have sexual fantasies right now. I'm thinking that will come back in October of 2021.
Your dog adopted her name.
Oh,
yeah. I gave my dog his last name. That's about as sexy as I get right now.
So you're now in a civil union with your pet?
Well, no, with Cuomo. He's just adopted. She's taken his last name.
Oh, I see. So it's Lucy Cuomo now.
Well, it's Lucia Maserati Donatella Versace Cuomo.
Oh, so Lucia's gotten some many names over the years. I take.
Yeah, Donatella Versace is her confirmation name.
Well, I'm glad you have company. You've got who is this quarantine crew you got up there?
My partners. This is Matt.
Hi, Matt.
My friend Kevin.
So this is a thruple or a quadruple with the dog, if you want to include Lucia.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's like Tilda Swinton.
I dig it. I didn't know.
Joke. I used it before, and I'll keep using it.
I didn't know much about your personal life, and I'm glad to see that you're being taken care of on every end. It sounds
well. Sure. Okay. Yeah.
You are, and where are I saw that you escaped New York. You got out of Dodge, and you hightailed it to the Catskills.
Sort of. Well, I was quarantined for 14 days early on, being in contact with someone who later tested positive, and this was when you just had to assume. And so I was just going through like panic attacks daily, and so now we're just quarantining here and like doing it together, having friends. Yes, week 3.
And there's plenty of wine in the area, or at least in the house.
We're ordering it. Sherry Lehman. Sherry Lehman delivers.
Shouting out to Sherry Lehman, our new sponsor.
Yeah.
We're nearly. Can you believe we're nearly like a full month into this official lockdown?
I've been pretty much indoors or in just by myself or with these two for 6 weeks.
That's crazy. How are you on the sanity spectrum? Are you starting to adapt to this new normal and becoming comfortable, or are you starting to lose it and become suicidal?
I mean, I think I'm going from suicidal back to like normal crazy. I mean, not normal, but I'm accepting it a bit more. And I'm like, well, let's just be bonkers. But I'm still crying daily.
As most of us are.
Which is only 50% more than normal, though.
Right. So it's really not that much different.
Right.
From the before time.
Yeah.
Not exactly the hiatus you were planning to have. This
no, not at all. In fact.
But were you able to get to the USWNT soccer game before this all shut down?
Yeah. Yes. I canceled my flight to LA on Tuesday. That was on Tuesday because I thought like I touched my face absentmindedly too much, which was like all we knew that it was about coronavirus.
Right. When it was cute.
On March 7th.
It was still cute. Yeah.
So that was like my last big outing. And then Tuesday night, I went to a small birthday party for Ego, and that was my last night out in New York.
At least you had a nice memory for your last night out.
Yeah.
And now you're creating new memories in semi-isolation. How's Lucy adjusting to the new surrounding? That's got to be actually nice for her.
Yeah, it's much nicer for her. I think she thought that I was dying, and she just resigned herself to it for those 2 weeks. Because in my apartment, it's small. There's really just like a bed or a couch. So I'm always lying down. And so she was just like, I guess this is it for us. This is what we'll do forever now.
You got room to spread out at least up there.
Yeah.
Cecily, this is it's wild that I was looking at the cast members and I was like, oh my gosh, I think Cecily might be one of the longest tenured cast members. Now, of course, Keenan is the granddaddy.
Right.
But Kate, is it Kate and then you?
And yeah, then 80 and I, yeah.
And 80 and you. So eighth season.
Yeah. Sort of. Whatever you call this.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you count it? Did I like get this information wrong? Is it like a 7-year contract with SNL? That's sort of what is floated around in the rumors. Is that it's a 7 years and you decide if you want to go back for more?
I mean, that's like sort of how it starts, but it's always, they get to renew it every half season or whatever, and then it's up to you. It's still like nothing is like set in stone. If they don't want you there,
sure,
you leave before. If you don't want you there, you leave before, and then you can stay after.
So you've decided you're signed up for more, and you love it.
I do. I mean, this year has been great until this year. Yeah.
How this remote episode last week? I guess you made history doing the show remotely, but we didn't see you. Your fans were upset they didn't get to see you too much on there.
Yeah, we'll address it. I'm finally. I think I'm like snapping back. I had a rough couple weeks. I think it's just like everybody right now is sort of going at their own pace, and we just have to be patient and kind with ourselves and others. And then I'll get back to fart jokes.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Again, the sexual fantasies and the fart jokes. Those are the two things that might take the longest to come back.
October 2021.
How is Lorne on Zoom? I assume you've had some Zoom conferences.
I have not. No.
No?
No. I've not Zoomed with Lorne yet.
It remains to be seen if he's mastered Zoom, unlike the way my father has mastered Skype, clearly.
I haven't. There's so many of them. It's insane. I have to download a new one and then ask for detailed instructions every day.
Well, I'm glad we can.
Much.
This is actually the best. Cecily, this is you win the prize for cleanest and clearest connection I've had with a guest yet, in terms of
emotionally.
I'm talking in terms of emotionally, for certainly, but also with the Wi-Fi and the fact that the audio and visual is syncing and you're not frozen and glitching out on me. So congratulations on the Wi-Fi, at least up in.
Well, thank you. I don't know if I can take credit, but I will.
Can we give some credit to someone very important to I think the comedy world and to you personally, someone sadly who was a victim of this COVID-19 pandemic, Hal Wilner, who was the musical director at SNL for so many years and I guess a very close friend of yours because of how long you've been at the show.
Yeah, my friend Yoni worked with Hal before I got there, so Hal was very nice to me right away, which I was sort of like, I don't know that I deserve this. And he was one of the most bizarre people I've ever met in my life. And this is my Hal story of the week. So Monday night, I was in the kitchen here, and I was DJing for Kevin and Matt, and I was like, I'm going to find the perfect song, like taking it too seriously. And I was scrolling through my library, and then it was taking me forever. And then I was like, this is the song. This is the perfect song. And I played Perfect Day by Lou Reed.
Mm.
And I was like singing to them, and they were like, what is this? And I was like, you don't know Perfect Day by Lou Reed? And then we just listened to the whole thing. And then Tuesday found out Hal had passed. And then then Saturday watching the episode, I was like sobbing, so I missed a lot of it, but that was the song they played for Hal, and it was just like I was listening to it that night.
It's kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Kind of perfect. Yeah. And Lou Reed was like one of his buddies, wasn't he? When he tight with Lou?
That's what Hal is like. Secretly the coolest person on earth. underneath the the weird hat and bizarre. He knew everybody. He was the coolest. He's got like a million friends. I'm just one of like a million to say how cool and weird Hal was.
Well, that's what it sounds like from the outpouring of eulogies online and all of his former coworkers and colleagues. But tell people at home, like, what exactly he did for the show and how integral he was with his role and all the musical bits that you did over the years.
Yeah. I mean, there's a funny clip that Oz posted on Instagram Oz Rodriguez, who's a longtime director at SNL who left this year, but he posted a good Hal quote. But really, I mean, it's hard to say, like, everybody does so many things at SNL, so I know I'll get some things wrong, but really it was like all the scores anything that's like music that sets a live sketch, that's sort of just scene setting, that's all Hal.
The Sansa Modesto theme and the
yes,
California.
all of that. Yeah.
Right.
Anytime you're like, can we have something that sounds like 1960s Italian soap opera? And you'll just write that, and someone makes it happen, and it's Hal.
It's incredible. The king of the sound-alikes. That's important to have sound-alikes if you're doing broadcast television.
Yes.
What's really cool about, I think and I assume you agree, what's cool about your career in particular, it's not as if you're just, a very funny and talented actress who auditioned for SNL and, got onto the show and, okay, cool. This is a good step in my career, yada, yada, yada.
I'm also a bitch.
That's not exactly where I was going, but yeah, it's amazing how you can get so far while being such a pain in the ass.
So rotten.
But but you, like me, we're pretty much the same age. We grew up loving SNL and being so influenced by those mid-90s casts. And my bar mitzvah theme was Saturday Night Live. I showed you that photo when I had you on my show, in New York on the stage when we used to get together in clubs. But you also grew up just loving SNL and imitating Phil Hartman, right? I mean, you were into it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like all the eras too. And I watched Gilda's Broadway show, her one-woman show. It's hard to say. Whenever anyone's like, "Who's your favorite?" It's really hard to say because they've all made me laugh so much. Yeah.
And they would often kind of, I just remember growing up, we had the VHS tapes, the best ofs and the best of the musicals. So, even though we came of age like in the 90s, early 90s, we were so aware of the 70s cast, the 80s cast. I mean, I was like, wait a minute, isn't Eddie Murphy still in the cast? Like, I thought, like, oh, when's Buckwheat going to show up this week? Like, no, that's not, he was there for 1 year.
Right. Yeah,
But it's funny how SNL, there is this family aspect to it, and they always love to bring back their old cast members as hosts and celebrate the old sketches. They don't like, oh, that was 20 years ago, that was 30 years ago, we'll brush that away. No, there's such a community around it, and for fans, I think it's what helps bridge the generations, because SNL is that kind of show where I feel like you watch it mostly when you're younger, and then you sort of maybe grow out of it a little bit, but you always have such amazing memories of it and conversations about it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what the 40th was for a lot of us, was getting to meet all these people that were so huge for us growing up. And then it's like, I get to be in this club. Even, this is a little grim, but our first year, we got invited to Tom Davis's memorial, and just like just getting to be in that room and hearing people speak about it and being like, I can't believe I get to be in this room right now.
Oh yeah.
Even like a part of this world was so special.
And maybe that's why, is it why you just, this is like your dream has come true. Why not? 8 years, 10 years? I'll do 20 years like Keenan did. I mean, why would you want, this is
we'll see. day by day.
Day by day. Let's see if there is another season of SNL. Yeah. What was, just to wrap this up, just to bring some happy thoughts to our brains. your favorite sketches growing up, the ones that you remember the most, like specifically the parodies, because I know you love the parodies as much as I did, commercial parodies.
Right.
And we saw the same ones growing up. I mean, I'll throw out Crystal Clear Gravy. I loved Crystal Clear Gravy.
Uh-huh. I also loved I loved Schmidt's Gay.
Schmidt's Gay.
And I really liked this random one with Roseanne and Phil Hartman, which was like the credit card one.
The credit card one.
And it was like Phil Hartman kept going. He was like, my card didn't work, and I called, and they were really nice or something. And then it's Roseanne going, so this guy calls.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Seeing both sides of it. How about Colon Blow cereal with Phil Hartman?
Super Colon Blow, yeah.
Super Colon Blow. And perhaps my favorite, Happy Fun Ball.
Happy Fun Ball. Yeah.
Like, I saw Happy Fun Ball. I remember watching it the first time live and like losing my mind at just how you could write comedy that way. You know, I was.
And Bad Idea Jeans.
Bad Idea
Let's
Jeans.
not leave that one up. What was it like? So I think I'm going to tell my wife about when I slept with her sister. Yeah, you should. And they're getting ready to play basketball.
Yeah. And it just cuts into the Bad Idea Jeans logo, like Levi's commercial. Oh my God, Gatorade cookie dough. I love Gatorade cookie dough. I love the stupidest ones. I mean, maybe I'm just stupid, Cecily. I don't know.
Gilda with Jewish jeans.
Jewish jeans. Yeah, there was the old one with the swill water.
Of course, yeah.
It's just garbage, like broken glass in water.
From Lake, what was it? Lake
Erie.
Erie, yeah.
And now you're actually doing SNL commercial parodies. It's just, what a career, what a life. So let's hope that we can get back to that life. I know you want to get back there. We all want to get back there. Lucy's probably missing the apartment, even though she has a lot more room to run around.
I think Lucy will stay here. I think Lucy will leave me. It'll be like when Macaulay Culkin divorced his parents.
You know what?
When I go back.
Lucy running the show up there. Let's leave a video camera there. Let's get that on TV. That'll be an SNL sketch.
Oh, she wishes.
Cecily, thank you for joining me on the show, and thank you to Kevin and Matt. Kevin specifically for being the cameraman. That was crucial.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, hope this broke up the monotony a little bit.
Definitely. Thank you.
All right, guys. Be well. Stay safe. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Cecily Strong. A strong performance from Cecily. That was great. So if you missed her on SNL last week, here she is. She's doing well. She's got company, at least. You know, they say New York City is like a ghost town. I keep hearing New York City is a ghost town. I wish at least I'd had some ghosts to talk to. At least I have some ghosts to hang out with up here. You know? I've got a Casper mattress, but I'd rather have Casper, to be honest. Maybe ghost Patrick Swayze. Maybe ghosts of girlfriends past. Something. Although I have always referred to New York City as a ghost town, mostly because of the number of women who have routinely ghosted me over the years. How about we bring in our next guest of the evening? I think I'm done vamping. And he's all set and ready to go. Yeah, baby. He is a Tony Award-winning actor and musician that you might have been lucky enough to have seen on Broadway in Spring Awakening or American Idiot. He's been in a ton of movies and TV shows that you know and love. Modern Love being one of them recently. Please say hello to John Gallagher Jr. Oh, you gotta unmute. Yeah, you're muted. That's right.
I'm unmuted now.
Unmute. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
I email about the unmuting. I believe Jack messages you back last minute there, but it's still hard to remember to unmute the button. I'm glad you got it figured out. Johnny boy?
Yeah.
Do you appreciate the St. Patty's suit jacket I'm wearing for you?
I'm loving it. I'm just simply loving it. It's cool.
What was your St. Patrick's celebration like this year in quarantine?
So in quarantine, I went out and braved the bodega in Brooklyn to procure a 6-pack of Guinness draft. the draft type, the kind in the nice sleek bottle. They were, although it was somebody had taken one, so I put the porter in there, so I had kind of like a blend of different styles of Guinness in there. Ooh. And actually, I opened up a bottle of Jameson whiskey that's been sitting in my bar for 4 years. It was gifted to me by Gabriel Byrne, who played my father in Long Day's Journey into Night back on Broadway in 2016. And I am so sentimental that I didn't open it for 4 years. So I opened it and drank about half of it and all of the Guinnesses.
You broke open the Byrne bottle?
I did. It was he had a specially made label. He gave one to me and he gave one to Michael Shannon, who played my brother. And it had our characters' names and everything on it. And I couldn't bring myself to open it, but I thought, you know what, this is a special time, this quarantine, it's a pandemic. I was about to press play on The Commitments, a fine Irish film from the early 90s about a band in Dublin. And I knocked back a bunch of booze and watched The Commitments.
Cranking U2's Joshua Tree.
Absolutely.
So Gabriel Byrne, Michael Shannon, John Gallagher Jr., is it safe to assume all three of you of Irish heritage?
Yes, I mean, Gabriel being, of course, the most, actually coming from Ireland, and he still has that beautiful accent that I could listen to for hours on end. And I did get to listen to it for hours on end when I was doing all 4 hours of Long Day's Journey into Night. And then Mike Shannon as well. Shannon, Byrne, Gallagher, a fine trio with some Irish heritage in there.
I love it, and I'm jealous. I've been to Ireland. I think they're wonderful people, these Irish. They certainly know how to party.
Yeah.
And I do not have that gene in me. I, for one, John, I cannot drink a half bottle of whiskey on any given night, let alone Burns Night. We're renaming St. Patrick's Day Burns Night in his honor.
I love it.
So have you been to the Guinness factory?
No, I've never been to Ireland. Ashamed to admit it, honestly. I've spent time in England, but I've never been over to Ireland. I missed out. My sister and my dad, both of my sisters, as a matter of fact, and my father in 2016, right after I finished Long Day's Journey into Night, they did a trip to Ireland. And I was such a baby that summer. I was like, I'm too burnt out from O'Neill. I must rest on my fainting couch for the rest of the summer. And I didn't go with them. And I'll tell you what, man, I kick myself to this day that I didn't take that trip with them. But we want to go back, and we got a text chain going on with me and my sisters, and we're always saying, when this thing lifts, we're gonna take our parents back to Ireland, and I'm gonna actually go this time.
Now's a good time to go, John. Book your ticket.
That's true.
Flights are cheap.
I might have some credits remaining.
Or you might have to swim over there. I don't know if they're going to let you fly into the UK these days, or Europe. It's part of the Eurozone, right? Ireland is not part of the UK. They are proudly an independent country.
Right.
They got their EU situation, which is a whole total mess. How is John Gallagher Sr. doing during quarantine?
Man, I'll tell you what. I'm sad to say he's got the shingles.
Oh,
he's got shingles.
That's something you're never supposed to get, let alone in such an advanced age.
I know, it's kind of strange. I did a bunch of research about it when my mom called me and said, "Oh, Dad's got shingles," and they took him to the doc in Delaware where they live and got him checked out, and they didn't seem too concerned. They just said shingles is kind of a tough one. You got to kind of wait it out. There's obviously medication you can take, but he's getting a little bit better each day, I think. But the timing of it is kind of wild. That everything gets locked down, and then of course shingles. But I guess it lies dormant for years. These shingles.
Is that so?
That's what I've been told, or at least that's what the internet told me.
That's the scariest thing. It's like the shingles are coming from inside the house.
Exactly.
They've been there the whole time. It's like Gary Busey, hider in the house.
Exactly.
That's what shingles is.
Shingles are, when I think shingles, I think Gary Busey.
Yeah, shingles are the Gary Busey of the ailments world.
Yeah.
Shingles are the Gary Buseys of ailments? What am I even saying?
You know what? It works for me.
it's been a long day's journey into night for this quarantine. Doesn't it feel like this whole thing has been one long day and one long journey into who the hell knows when this is going to end?
Absolutely. I really feel like I need to start kind of, even though there's nothing really to put in my calendar, I feel like I need to at least put something in it every day so that I can look back and be like, yes, that's what I did on that aimless day, day 30, whatever it is.
Yeah. You know what's strange? I was up for about 7-8 years. I was meticulously keeping notes of what I did each day. I have a Google Doc with a little bit of like not a full diary. I'm not writing Dear Google, but I just write down what I did, where I went, who I saw, where I ate, just bullet points, so I have a memory of that day. I can always scroll back. What was I doing on August 12th, 2014? Okay. Same thing I was doing probably today, which is, well, let's not get into that. But
I love that. I really want to do that.
But you know what's funny, John? Ever since this lockdown started, I've abandoned it. I have not updated it once in weeks because it generally doesn't feel like the day has ever fully ended to me.
I know. It's just kind of it's a bit of a Groundhog Day effect.
It's amorphous blob of a time frame.
I have slipped into a strange schedule where I've really leaned into my night owl tendency, which I have already to begin with. So I've been kind of going to bed at like 4:30 in the morning.
Really?
And sleeping until the early afternoon. I don't recommend it. I'm not going to preach it to anybody, but that's just kind of where I've ended up.
It's throwing off the circadian rhythm a little bit.
Definitely, which has always been a precarious rhythm of mine to begin with.
Touch or go. I kind of liken it to being in college again. Doesn't it feel like as if, normal life for us, because, the two of us are sort of in the same world of not really having a desk job, an office job. We don't have some place to be at 9 a.m., thankfully. So every night is kind of like, hey, do what you want. It's your schedule. But in quarantine in particular, I feel like it's back to truly being 19 years old again. And yes, staying up as late as you want. Let's watch another episode of Hunters. Let's get another pint of ice cream out,
Absolutely. Why stop yourself? It's a kind of freaky time. You want to just give yourself whatever comfort that you can find.
Well, we've both been taking comfort in the music of John Prine. Unfortunately, it is for very sad reasons. We just talked with Cecily about Hal Wilner, who was a victim of COVID-19, and John Prine, the great singer-songwriter, another victim of this virus. John, I saw you posted on your Instagram a very touching tribute to Mr. Prine, and with some guitar playing in his honor. And I did not know this, but you have been a massive John Prine fan ever since you were a kid.
That's true. Yeah, my father and my mother, they met playing music. That was how they met back in the day, and they've been singing together since before I was born. And I grew up going to folk festivals and to see them at concerts and play coffee shops and whatnot. And one of my dad's favorite artists of all time has always been John Prine. He's been following him since the 70s. And they covered a ton of his songs. And so I just grew up listening to John Prine's music. It was always, if it wasn't playing on a record, they were playing it, and singing it live. And then I got to see him a few times when I was a teenager. And it's just, his music has always been there. It's like, John Prine and the Beatles. There's nothing else I can really think of that's kind of just always been playing in my whole life. And so that really, that really devastated me to see that we lost him to this. I mean, he had lived such a full life, and, he had been through some ups and downs. He had some health issues in his time, and he had beat cancer. And so it just seemed so unjust and unfair to me to have this thing show up and take him from us. I mean, he really was I think he was, one of the great songwriters of our time, and will always be remembered as such.
For sure. And unfortunately, it seems he certainly is known to some people, but never fully broke out name-wise to like the mass audience. And even my brother-in-law, who I'm going to throw under the bus right now, he is Scottish. My Scottish brother-in-law, actually, grew up in Scotland and still lives there to this day, even though he's been stuck at my parents' house with my sister. Huge Bob Dylan fan, my brother-in-law Jonathan. In fact, they named their son, my nephew, Dylan. Okay. Oh. But when I talked to John about John Prine, I said, it's John Prine. He had not even heard of John Prine.
Interesting.
And I said, Bob Dylan, not that Dylan's older than John Prine, but Dylan was a huge fan of Prine.
Loved him, yeah.
And if you know Dylan, you think you'd cross over to the Prine land. But so that's a good example of the fact that he just, doesn't have the wide recognition. So that's why I was hoping you, John Gallagher Jr., with your terrific skills at guitar and at vocals, could serenade us with some of John Prine's music right now.
Sure thing. I'd love to. It'll be my pleasure.
All right.
Yeah. Got my guitar right here.
Got the mother axe. All right. I'm going to say goodbye for a second as you play solo.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Scott. All right, here's the John Prine song I've always loved called That's the Way the World Goes Round. Kinda confused, got muscles in his head, ain't never been used. Thinks he owns half of this town. Starts drinking heavy, gets a big red nose, beats his old lady with a rubber hose, and he takes her out to dinner, buys her new clothes. It's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. You up one day and the next you're down. It's half an inch of water, you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. Now I was sitting in the bathtub just counting my toes when the radiator broke and the water all froze. I got stuck in the ice without my clothes, naked as the eyes of a clown. And I was crying ice cubes, hoping I'd croak when the sun come through the window. The ice all broke and I stood up and laughed because I thought it was a joke. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day and the next you're down. It's half an inch of water, you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day and the next you're down. It's half an inch of water, you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, John. That's what D G.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You know, C F G with a capo on the 5th fret, but
capo.
But it can be done anyway.
Damn you!
That's the brilliance of John Prine. 3 chords. Most of the songs, you know, they were so simple, and yet he fit so much into those songs. It's really a magic act. I don't know how he did it.
God, that was beautiful. Can you give us one more? Can I be greedy and ask for one more?
Of course, absolutely.
Can I request? Can I make a request?
Yeah, sure. If I know it, I'll do it.
And you've done John Prine birthday shows over the years, so you know like 30 or 40 of his songs by now.
I know a bunch of them. Yeah, in 2010 at the Rockwood Music Hall, a venue that I play frequently in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, I started doing these impromptu John Prine birthday shows where I'd get a bunch of my friends together and we'd just do a set of his songs. And you know, I'm hoping that if come this October or maybe next October, we'll be able to dust it off and do another one for him as soon as they let us get back into venues and have gatherings again.
Oh man, that would be awesome. Well, if I could request a song.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we can do some kind of duet through Skype. I could be your Emmylou Harris or your Iris DeMent. I don't know, but But can we do Angel from Montgomery? Because it's
Of
just
course.
so good. It's so good. I don't think I'm going to scratch the duet thing because I don't think it's going to actually line up very well with the guitar. So I will once again let you take over. Here he is, John Gallagher Jr. with Angel from Montgomery.
Thank you, Scott. I am an old woman named after my mother. Old man was another child that's grown old. But if dreams were lightning, thunder was desire, this old house would have burnt down a long time ago. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster, an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Now when I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. He weren't much to look at, just a free rambling man. Oh, but that was a long time, and no matter how I tried, the years just go by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. There's flies in the kitchen, I can hear them there buzzing, and I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening, and have nothing to say? Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
Oh, Johnny, my Johnny, my man. Boy, I was singing along there.
Oh, it's just such a beauty, such a killer. And you know that was one of the first songs he ever brought to an open mic when he was in his 20s. I mean, it's hard to process that. A young guy showing up to an open mic in Chicago and busting out that song. It's mind-blowing.
A young mailman.
Yeah.
A singing mailman. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning? Mm-hmm. I love that. Come home and you have nothing to say.
One of the most heartbreaking lyrics ever rendered, to be honest.
And you, John, your voice is just, I mean, like, with all due respect to John Prine, you have a much prettier voice than Prine.
Oh, God.
But what I love about Prine's voice, frankly, is that it's like you had to change the chords on that and the key. He is right in my register. If you listen to the album version, like John Prine's voice and mine, whatever, faults I have, I like to do his little twang is, squeezed.
Oh,
I get it, Randy Fremont. Sales used cars,
Yes.
I like leaning into that.
Yeah.
John, that was beyond pretty good. That was freaking fantastic. Thank you for gracing us with some John Prine's music. Rest in peace, John Prine. And hopefully, let's say rest in peace to this stinking virus, huh?
Yeah, man, that would be nice.
When's this virus gonna kick it?
Sooner than later, I hope.
It's so good to catch up with you, dude. Stay
Always
safe,
a pleasure.
be well, and maybe come back and play some more music for us. I'd love to do this like every night, frankly.
And Scott, you know where to find me. I'm not going anywhere.
Not going to Montgomery either. Adios, my friend.
Thanks so much, Scott.
John Gallagher Jr. How about that, folks? Want that fun tonight? Angel from Montgomery. That's the way the world goes around. John Prine from John Gallagher and Cecily Strong and sidekick Marty's voice. We didn't quite see him tonight. Maybe tomorrow he'll have it worked out, or maybe we never will have that worked out, and that'll be part of the charm of ISO Late Night. Thanks for watching. If you donated to IsoLateNight.com's fundraiser, we are fundraising for the wet markets in Wuhan. No, we're fundraising for City Meals on Wheels. You can donate there. And also, you can go to Quiz Daddy's Closet and pick up, look at this Broadway shirt. You know, John Gallagher Jr., a Broadway star. Cecily Strong, a Broadway lover. And this shirt, which if I'm trying to center it, look at this 80s Broadway tee, 50-50 blend, single stitch, from Broadway to Big Bear, baby. California. Cool little bear logo, nice and soft. These are all available at Quiz Daddy's Closet on Instagram, all one word, at Quiz Daddy's Closet. Do you love Atlanta? I love this Atlanta shirt. Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play. Welcome to Grand Cypress Golf Course in Florida with these funky flamingos. These are all 80s original, no Urban Outfitters bullshit here. Original. Quiz Daddy's Closet to buy clothing that benefits City Meals on Wheels as well. Thanks for watching tonight. We'll see you tomorrow when my guests are Corinne Fisher and Christina Hutchinson from the Guys We Effed podcast. And who else? Wayne Diamond. Yes, we rebooked Wayne from Uncut Gems, the undisputed star of Uncut Gems. Wayne Diamond will be here if I can just keep this cardboard box glued to my desk with the laptop. I don't move the frame. We're good. Okay. We're good. We'll see you all tomorrow. Remember, stay healthy, folks, because if you suffer, so will my ratings. Good night. Let's hope there's a tomorrow.